#1 trader in Singapore.
Hello guys, Uncle Lim here. How are you guys today? This week will be our technical analysis class part 2. Today's topic is the final topic of technical analysis for Uncle's technique. It's very important for you guys to understand. So for today's class, Uncle will compile all Uncle's technique and Uncle will show you guys how to use Uncle's technique. Uncle did receive a few screenshots, few analysis using SNR from you guys, and Uncle can see that some of you guys is doing very good and some of you guys is trying to understand, but there are some mistakes here and there, but no worries. Today, Uncle will show you guys how to use all of this technique. Okay guys, so first, Uncle want to tell you guys what we are going to learn for today's topic. First is trend line, and second is time frame. The third one is the technique, how Uncle use all of this technique, and lastly, how to set SL and TP, and also including how to entry. That is the most important part. Okay, now we are going to start with trend line. Okay, trend line. What is trend line? Trend line is one of the tools that we use to make a precise entry, and it also as an indicator of the trend. Either it is uptrend or downtrend. So how we gonna know which one is uptrend, which one is downtrend? So when you guys see a movement of chart like this, the trend line, this is the trend line, this is uptrend. The trend line will be at the bottom of the chart. Vice versa to downtrend, it will be like this. The trend line will be at the top of the chart. This is the trend line. This is downtrend. Okay. This is trend line. Okay guys, how to make a trend line? There are 3 rules that you guys need to follow. First, do not cross body candle. And the users of trend line is time frame H1 and above, which means H1, H4, daily, weekly, and monthly. Second, we need 2 points at the same trend direction to find the third and the rest. Okay, Uncle will show you how. The theory is, if let's say this is the body of the candle, do not do like this. This is wrong. It needs to be like this. Okay, Uncle will draw it back. Okay, this one is wrong. It broke the candle's body. This one is right. So, trend line can only be used H1 and above, 2 points at the same trend direction. Okay, so when you guys open chart, you need to find 2 points. 1 point, 2 points. Use a significant resistance or support to take it as a point. So there is one here, there is one here. Okay, so if let's say like this, you can take this trend line. But if let's say this is break and make enough movement, you can make another trend line. So this one is right, this one is also right, but since it break out, so you need to take this one as a new point, as a second point for that trend line. So here is an example. So as you guys can see, first there's a trend line here that you guys can make. There's also a trend line here that you guys can make, just to make sure that they have a 2 yearly point, 1 point, 2 point. This one here also can make another trend line. So as you guys can see, there's a first point here, there's a second point here, and there's a third point here, which you can entry. But guys, please do not entry yet. Uncle will tell you how to entry with trend line. Okay, so this is an example. So when we do a trend line, we use line chart. So when we use line chart, we can see here in candlestick chart, you can see there's one, there's a second point, and now there's a third point. So this place you can entry, and there's also a fourth point that you can entry also, as long as you respect the trend line. The most important thing is the first two trend line, which you can find the third and the fourth and so on. As long as you still respect the trend line, yes, you can entry. You can take this one also. There's a one here, there's a second, and then there's the third. Okay, another example. This one is for gold. You can start from here also can. 1, 2, 3, which no price has come back yet. But if you pull a trend line from here, there's a 1, there is a 2, and there's the third. Okay, there's a third there. That's why we can enter here to buy gold. This is a gold setup. So if you can see in the candlestick chart, there's a 1 point here, there's a second point here, and there's the third. All of this we are using a significant support. This one also, if let's say we pull from here, there's one, the second, and there's also third. But then since it break and create a new lower low, that's why we take here. There's a new trend line. So this is uptrend. As for downtrend, we take here from here. There's a 1, there's a 2, there's a 3 here. This is the breakout trend line. Uncle will explain after this on how to use all of these tools. Okay, that is for trend line. It's a very simple topic. You guys may understand maybe around 50% regarding trend line. No worries. Uncle will tell you how to use that trend line. Also along with time frame. Also along with SNR. No worries. Hold on, guys. Hold on a bit. So for these time frames, there are 9 time frames in our chart. There's the M1, M5, M15, M30, H1, H4, daily, weekly, and monthly. The most important time frame that we need to use for our daily trade is this 3 time frame. H1, H4 daily, you can use trend line, you can use SNR and everything in this time frame for your guys daily trade. For weekly and monthly, you guys can use also, but it mostly used for swing trade. For lower than M15 to M1, we do not use SNR and trendline because why? Because SNR and trendline in that time frame is a very weak. SNR and trendline in this time frame is very weak. All the SNR and trendline easily broken. Okay, for these are using for scalping technique, but for Uncle's technique cannot be appropriately used in this lower time frame for M15, M5, and 1. Okay, Uncle's technique is mainly used in H1, H4, daily, and above. And for your guys' daily trade, you guys can use these 3 time frame is enough. Okay, what is Uncle's technique? Uncle's technique is a combination of trendline, SNR, and uses of multiple time frame, and also a breakout technique. We call it as naked chart analysis. Uncle did not use MA or EMA or Bollinger Band or anything. Uncle did not use all of that. Uncle only used these 3: trendline, SNR, and multiple time frame, and also a breakout technique. So now Uncle will show you guys how to use Uncle's technique and how to set TP and SL, also how to entry. So let's say, why don't we go to gold? Uncle received a few reports that some of you guys entry gold and floating 70 pips for sell. Now Uncle will show you guys how to use Uncle's technique. Okay, first of all, we go into daily time frame. Okay, so for daily time frame, what you guys need to focus is around this area only. around this area only, and this area, because we know why. This is our major resistance, this is our major support. So there's a minor resistance and support here. Okay, so that is one thing. Okay, so now we do some marking for our major resistance and support. Why we look into daily first? Because why? Because we need to find the direction first. Where are the current chart want to go? Okay, so we first mark this is our resistance. This is our resistance. And now we mark here, this is our major support. This is our major support. So now we know where is our resistance and where is our support. This is for time frame daily. Now we can go, this is resistance and support. Now we make from support here, from the lowest point, we make a trend line. Because there's, we can see we can make trend line here. So we want to make trend line. We use line chart. Where's our line chart? We use our line chart. Okay, here is our line chart. So we connect the first point. This is the first point. Before all of this happen, we can take this as a second point. But then there's a new lower low. We can take it as new point for our second point. And now we have second point, and there's also a third point. Okay, but then we can also, as you can see, for trend line, you guys need to practice. Because why? In order you guys to alert all of these kind places that you can make trend line, you guys need to practice. Another one, there's also, we can make another trend line here. From this point, this is the first point. There's a second point. There's also a third point. So we turn back into candlestick. So as you guys can see, from our first point and second point, there's a third point that we can entry. Okay, there is the first trend line. And then there's a second trend line here. Okay, there's a first here, there's a second here, and that's the third. But then all of this, let's say, all of this extra will get you guys into a bit of floating. So because why this is a daily, okay, so there will be a bit over here and there. No worries, guys, hold on. So since we know that there's the third point here that we can entry, now we go into a bit low time frame, that is the 4-hour time frame. We can adjust the trend line. Okay, if you guys previously from daily, okay, you guys know there's a trend line here, there's one. Okay, and now there's a trend line here, there's a trend line here. This is number one trend line, this is number two trend line. So you guys know the second trend line is price is gonna touch. So what you guys need to do is going to touch first the second trend line. So what you guys do, you go into lower time frame, 4-hour time frame. Okay, open back line chart. Okay, you adjust the second trend line to be more precise. This one here, there's a second here. Okay, so when the chart and the trend line is more precise, so you guys can entry a little bit precise, and it makes you guys entry quite a precise point. That's one thing. And second, less floating. Okay, that one. Okay, if let's say you guys want to be more precise, you guys can go into time frame H1. Okay, H1. Okay, so when you guys go into H1, first of all, there's a SNR here. Okay, there's an SNR here, support here. Okay, so Uncle will give you one tips. Okay, in order, okay, first of all, you guys know this is uptrend. Okay, you guys know this is an uptrend. The movement of the chart is from the support into resistance, support to resistance. That is the movement chart. Okay, so right now, as you can see, this is an up trend. Okay, but then there's a support here that it break. This is a minor support. Okay, there is a minor support. So the minor support have been break. I know you guys, if you guys just learn SNR, if the support break, it indicates that you want to change the trend. But guys, wait a minute. In order for a trend to change, it need to break two things. First, it need to break this trend line, and also this trend line, and also this support. You need to break this trend line, and also this support for this trend to change. Because why? This is the significant what? Significant what? Resistance become support once it break. That is one thing. The second thing, this trend line have also need to be broken. So only then this trend will change into downtrend. But since it only break this minor support and it rejects this trend line, so the trend for the gold is still uptrend. So on Thursday, whoever sell gold, they will lose. Uncle know and Uncle already see that the gold is going to buy, but Uncle a little bit busy and cannot give you guys signal on that day. But then Uncle show you guys why we need to buy gold. Uncle believe in the 4-hour time frame is the most precise. Okay. So as you guys can see, it break this minor support, but it didn't break this major support, and it didn't break trend line. In fact, this chart rejects the trend line, so that's why the movement is still in uptrend. Okay. It's a very simple, but for trend line, you guys need to practice to perfect your entry. Okay, now we do one more analysis. Maybe Euro USD. First of all, what is the trend of Euro USD? We look into daily. That's the first thing. Where is our major support? Where is our major resistance? So don't look too far behind. We will look the closest resistance and support first. Okay, so let's see. So this is our major support. This is our major resistance. Okay, all of this. Okay, resistance, movement, this one, and then also a resistance. So, and then there's support here, support here, resistance. Okay, so first of all, there is in daily. We need to find the direction first. So from here we can see. So when there's a movement of market structure like this, it means it is downtrend. At this part, this is downtrend. Okay, that is downtrend. Then from this downtrend movement, it already break this resistance. This is support. It already break this resistance. That's one thing. The second thing, it already break this trend line. So the movement of the Euro USD have become uptrend. So the movement of Euro USD is from here support to up here is the maximum resistance. The nearest maximum resistance, that is the market structure. So now we know already the direction of Euro USD. Okay, so what we are going to do, since we already identify this structure here is already become uptrend, so we are going to trade based on this structure, based on this structure. Okay, so what we need to do, okay, first we can see that if we can put any trend line here. Okay, we already know there's a resistance here, resistance here, resistance here, and there's support here. Support. Okay, there's support. Okay, there. So this resistance here have been rejected, but it didn't break any support, this is the support, there's another support here, it did not break here. So as long as the market structure still retains in the uptrend, we must find what? Uptrend, we must find buy. So that's the direction that you guys need. That's one thing. Our first objective have done, which is first objective to find direction. This is our first objective. Okay, objective number one done. Now we plot some trend line. Okay, trend line or SNR. Okay, so first, okay, horizontal ray. So there's a resistance there. We can put into line chart. So as you can see, there's a resistance there. And there's also a resistance here. Okay, and there's also our major support here. So now we already know where's our major support and major resistance. Okay, so now we know the direction is from support to resistance. That is our lowest point, this is our highest point. The movement is from support to resistance. Okay, now we try to plot maybe a trend line here. Voila. So you guys already find. Okay, we put some line chart to be more precise. See, Uncle told you guys need to practice. Uncle didn't change into line chart also. Can make a precise trend line point. Okay, now we go back into candles. So as you guys can see, there's one point here, second point here. It already fulfilled the rules, and we entry at the third point. Okay, but then Uncle already told you this is a daily time frame. All of this extra will make you guys floating. So we go into a one lower time frame lower. There is the 4 hour. Adjust a bit to be more precise. Use the line chart. If you guys find this, there's a, if you guys find this, there's a 2 point really close. Just take this second one. No need to take this one. Take this second one. Okay, that's one, that's two, second point. Okay. So there's first point, there's a second point, and now there's the third point. Okay, also you can take it as 1, 2, 3. This is the third point that we can treat, and this is the fourth point. Also can, as long as it obeys the 3 rules, this trend line is still valid. So what is the best thing when you use the trend line? Okay, so as you guys can see here, there's also a minor SNR here. Sorry, you guys cannot see that. Let me do this a bit. Okay. So there's a movement here. So if let's say here, there's one. So basically you guys did not see in candle, Uncle will change it into line chart. Yeah, you see, you guys can see. So as you guys can see, there's a minor SNR here. There's a minor SNR here. So, which of these there's a resistance or support that clashes with the trend line, it will be a very strong point for you guys to entry. Okay, Uncle repeat. If there's an SNR, a support or resistance, that level clashes with the trend line, that point is a very strong to entry. So, what Uncle mean is, we mark it here. So what is the best point for you guys to entry at the trend line point? Is the trend line clashes with resistance or support. Since there's a resistance RBS here, resistance becomes support here, and there's a trend line here. Either it's here, also can, here also can, here also can. All of this level is very close to a trend line, so all of this level is valid to entry. But Uncle will take this price point because why? Uncle, that is the most closest point to the trend line. So we change back into candlestick. So voila. As you guys can see, when you guys entry here, it's a very precise point. It's a very good point for you guys to entry. See? That is how you guys get a very precise point for entry. Okay. So, how you guys to entry and then put your TP and SL. Okay. Since you guys know there's an SNR here. Okay. There's an SNR here. So, for example, this we are gonna buy. So, we buy. In order for us to put our stop loss is where the place, if the price goes, the setup is broken. Okay, in order for the setup to broken, first, it need to break this trend line. Break trend line. And second, it needs to break this support. So when these two tools is broken, then this setup will fail. So where you need to put your SL? Where you need to put your SL is, if you buy, you put, or you find the nearest support, okay, here. You find the nearest support, which is here. This is the nearest support. You mark it and then you move it maybe around 10 to 15 pips, maybe here. And that is your SL. Because sometimes the price will go, why you need to move it a bit, because why sometimes the price will spike and then it will goes back up. Sometimes that happens. So that's why you need to find nearest support. You need to find the nearest support and then let it breathe, maybe around 15 pips, and then you put your SL there, your stop loss there. Okay, that is how you entry buy, and then this is your stop loss. Okay, now where you need to find your TP. Okay, like Uncle said, the movement of the chart is always from support to resistance. As you guys know, you buy at support already. Okay, because why? This is a RBS, resistance becomes support place, and now there's a TP place here. You can put your TP here. This is your support become resistance, and if break this TP, that's why there's a second TP here. There's a resistance here. If this place also break, and then you can find another resistance or support for your TP. That is how you put your stop loss and TP. The same for sell. Okay, Uncle want to give you guys a bit of tip. Okay, this is just short tip. This is also can make a trend line. Like Uncle said, the rules, the first 2 points must be in the same trend. The third point may not be. The fourth point may not be. So this is a great example. Okay. So if we make a trend line here, make it precise, make it properly spot. And now we go into candlestick. Okay, so as you guys can see, there's a 1 point here, second point here, that's the third point. Okay, if you guys only use trend line that you guys can entry, also can, doesn't matter. But it is a bit high risk when you guys entry only using trend line. Okay, so as you guys can see, this is a very precise point to entry. So when you guys entry, the price goes down. You guys entry here, the price goes down. The first point, second point, and then there's the third point. So if let's say this happens, how you guys put SL and TP? Okay. So you guys entry here, stop loss. So since you guys did not use any SNR here, you guys only use trend line. So whatever that break this trend line, you can take it as a stop loss. Either you wait for candle to close to break this trend line, one. Second, either it goes to the nearest SBR, also can put as a stop loss. So there's a nearest SBR here. Okay, you can make it maybe around 10 to 15 pips difference SL here. And for your TP, you will take here as your stop loss. That is the first support. And then if break the support, then it goes continue down. So either you can take here as this is SL is TP. First TP, second TP. So that is how you trade. I hope you guys understand. You guys just need to practice. So the rules is, first, the rules of trend line is these 2 points must be in the same trend. Do not cross anybody. One more is what? Please tell me. What is one of the rules? What is the third rules? What is the third rule? Time frame, guys. Time frame. Always use H1 and above. Please don't trade using M5, M15. All of the resistance and trend line is easily broken. You guys need to trade within daily to H1 time frame only for your daily trading. If you guys want to swing, you guys can trade in a weekly or monthly or daily analysis. Yes, then you guys can swing. But the thing is, for uncle already enough for daily trading. As long as you can find direction in a daily time frame, then you guys will win mostly of your trading. So you guys already first find the direction, second plot some trend line, find the SNR. Okay, as you guys can see, the movement, this is the previous resistance, this is support, it break this resistance, and then it pulls back, and then we can enter here for R, breakout, support. This is the support zone. We can also entry, and then the price move up also break, but then 1, 2, 3, so it's the 13. We can also entry here. There are a lot of chances that we can trade every day. Just wait for the right moment for you guys to entry. So Uncle already show you guys how to use Uncle's technique. Uncle's hope you guys understand. Auntie May phone is open 24/5. Saturday and Sunday Auntie May need to rest. You guys can PM Auntie May to ask anything. Uncle will also help to answer you guys. So guys, that's all for our class today. We will see you guys next week for our last class with which is money management. So in money management, Uncle will teach you guys how to layer, how to put your lot size properly, how to set break even properly, and how to make or how to double up your money with control risk. And lastly, guys, we'll also teach you guys how to trade news. Okay, it doesn't involve any fundamental. It's just using a money management. The fundamental will be given by Uncle. Either Uncle predict strong or weak, but Uncle will tell you guys how to use a proper lot size so that you guys only lose what you guys are willing to lose. Okay, and also how to minimize losses and also increase your profit. Uncle will teach all of that next week, so stay tuned, guys. That's all for today. Thank you, guys. Thank you very much.
Uncle Lim, #1 trader in Singapore.